What I believe is that we are literally meant to rise above our circumstances, to rise above our challenges. Because even if you consciously put yourself into a challenge on purpose because you want to achieve some sort of goal, or you stop trying to put yourself into challenges completely, even if you do that, what's going to happen is that life will continually push you in a certain direction and try to teach you a certain lesson, which is that actually to stay in your comfort zone is literally out of alignment with the universe itself. Now, I'm not saying to overly push your comfort zone and get into what I call the panic zone, where now you're going to be causing a traumatic experience for yourself. But what I am saying is that if you're in your comfort zone, there's always going to be serious consequences to that. Now, there's going to be also consequences to expanding, but in my experience, the consequences of being in the comfort zone are usually a lot worse. Not to mention that it's not as exciting. It's definitely never as fun to stay in the comfort zone. So what I'm trying to say here is that you have to get over yourself and start expanding. It's as simple as that. It's just simple as that. You got to get over your comfort zone, and you have to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. And I mean literally, I mean truly get comfortable with the uncomfortable, to the point where you're unaffected. You are unaffected by the discomfort. Discomfort's still going to be there. You're still going to feel it. You're still going to feel it, right? There's nothing to run away from in terms of feeling things in life. There's always going to be something to feel. And if you're afraid to feel something, here's my claim, is that life will always push you to feel that. So why not just make it fun? Why not consciously go for the ride instead of wait for life to put you into some sort of adversity, or then you're going to be resisting that whole process, and then maybe you finally surrender. You finally surrender to unconditional awareness. But then you could just make it so much easier for yourself by consciously choosing to surrender in each moment, because eventually you're going to have to surrender anyways. Does that make sense? So you're going to have to surrender anyways at some point. You're going to have to face your fears anyways at some point. You're going to have to get out of your comfort zone at some point. And when I say at some point, what's important to consider here as well is that, of course, time doesn't exist. So actually, in this infinite field of awareness where everything already exists, that thing that you're scared to face, that you've never experienced before, will be experienced at some level of consciousness. So why not go after it? Now, the good news here, and it's all really good news, nothing is bad about what I'm saying. In fact, if we are going to be talking about good and bad, which of course those don't exist either, but let's just say that it does exist, and on some level it does from this relative human point of view. It would be bad. It's a shame when you don't face your comfort zone. It's a shame. It's a shame. It really is a shame when I see people, potential clients that I'm working with, or clients that I'm working with, that just choose to stay stuck in the same patterns again and again and again and again and again. It sucks. It really is a shame. It's a shame. It does hurt me a little bit to see people that are stuck in these patterns. Now, of course, I'm not affected by the fact that I'm hurt. You see what I'm saying? If you understand what I've just communicated there, then what you'll get is that you can be unaffected by anything, yet at the same time, you're not resisting anything in your field. This is the place that you want to create from. Now, it's a shame when people don't create. And so here's the good news, though, at a relative level, is that, do you know how exciting it is to face those fears? That's the magic of life. And I mean literal magic, quite literal magic will start happening in your life when you face your fears, because on the other side of that fear is a new version of who you are. A new version of who you are, where you prove to yourself that limitation was never you. It was just a construct that you've created. It was true, so to speak, at that level of consciousness, but of course you can rise above any limitation. When you rise up to the next level, eventually that will be proven wrong too, And then the next thing will also be proven wrong. And the next thing will also be proven wrong. And then the next thing will be also proven wrong. And then this process continues for infinity. This is what you call infinite expansion. So if it's infinitely inevitable that you're going to live the most epic, amazing life anyways, and yes, I do mean this is going to lead to an epic, exciting, amazing, even blissful life where you manifest all your heart's desires. You know, that's what's going to happen. That's the path that you take, that you can choose to take. If that's inevitable on some level anyways, why not just create it now? Why not just create it now? Seriously, why not just create it now? What do you have to lose? The only thing you really have to lose is the old version of you. But the truth is that you probably don't even want to be there anyways. So even if you do lose that old part of yourself, who really cares? You know, who really cares? In fact, it's a good thing to lose that old part of you because it's holding you back. It's not doing anything for you. At least you believe it's doing something for you, but perhaps it's not. You see, because that's the only reason why we hold on to the old version of who we are, is because we believe it's serving us. But sometimes it stops serving us, and we keep telling ourselves that it's serving us when it quite obviously is not. And it's very obvious once you overcome your limitation. You're like, wow, God, it's just so obvious that that was holding me back for so long. Yet I continued to live into that story, into that pattern, and I convinced myself that it was serving me when it never was. I mean, it was again at some point, but it stopped. You know, it stopped a long time ago. It stopped a long time ago. And then we continue on anyways. So, you know, here's what I encourage you to do. If you're scared to do something, you should just go do it. Always go in the direction of what you're scared. Okay, not always. The comfort zone is good. There's nothing wrong with your comfort zone. But what I encourage you to do is to be conscious of this whole process. See, the ego is not necessarily a bad thing. I encourage you to face your fears and be conscious of when you're doing that. And then when you pull back and contract your energy system and you pull back into your comfort zone, just be conscious of that. That's all I'm asking you to do. That's my invitation to you here. Is that so much to ask? Just become aware of the natural process of life that's already happening, but you can tap into it more consciously in a much more conscious manner. And now you're in alignment with creation. See, yes, infinite expansion is part of this universe, but also contraction is a part of this universe too. Don't you want to honor both the expansion and the contraction both simultaneously? Of course you do. So what you want to start to do is just simply be aware of what is already happening. This inward pulling in of I need to be in my comfort zone, and let me just expand once again and get out of my comfort zone. See what it's like to experience this. See what it's like to experience this. See, it's like, oh my gosh, that's too exciting. That's too much love for me. Let me just slow down a little bit here. And it's always a choice. This is when you take back your sovereignty as a being, is to realize that you have a choice here. You have free will. You don't control other beings. You don't control other people, but you control your own energy in terms of how much you choose to expand and how much you choose to contract. And then once you become conscious of this process, what starts to happen is that you start to realize that you don't need to control anything else other than that energy within you in terms of when you expand and when you contract. And you can always choose. That's your freedom. You have that freedom to choose. And you're also going to realize as well in this process that you're manifesting exactly what you want. And you don't have to go out of your way from a contracted state to go get something. All you have to do is just face your fear moment to moment, whenever you feel called to do so, because it feels exciting and expansive. And then that's what you want, whether you realize it or not. Infinite intelligence, infinite consciousness will always put you at the perfect place, at the perfect time to go face your fear. And of course, what is facing your fear? It's actually going towards your highest excitement and what your heart truly wants. And that's exactly, think about it like this. Every day you wake up, you're in these same patterns, perhaps doing the same thing every single day. Now, within your awareness and consciousness, there is a path to take that exists. It exists in your consciousness that perhaps you're unconscious of, but it exists. Some path to take that expands your awareness and shows you something you've never seen before, and it's very exciting for you. That exists. It's always an option. But in that limitation, we like to convince ourselves it doesn't exist, which is not true, because everything exists. So from that space of limitation, we believe that the opportunities don't exist, which of course, that idea actually is not true. It's not true whatsoever. Because that path within those similar patterns does actually exist. It does exist in there. It does exist. And so once you become conscious of that, it's like, oh, let me just expand my awareness a little bit and just go towards this direction that I've never gone before. And keep going, face those fears, overcome those challenges, overcome those limitations, overcome that old version of you, transform into a new version of you. Oh my gosh, it's too much. Let me just take a little bit of a rest. And that's life. I've just explained to you the keys to life here. To channel your energy in the direction of what you want until it's too much love and bliss to handle, and then just take a break. It's just that simple. It is quite simple. It's just not complicated. Like, life is just so simple. It's so goddamn simple that we've convinced ourselves it's complicated when it's just so simple. It's just so simple. Just follow your heart's desire moment to moment and go be what you want to be in each moment. It's just that simple. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't be who you want to be. Don't let anybody convince you that you can't be who you want to be, because those people that are trying to convince you why you can't overcome your challenge have themselves not overcome the challenges in their life. So why would you listen to them? Why would you listen to somebody that is not facing their fears in terms of why you shouldn't face your fear? That makes no sense whatsoever. You don't want to be listening to people that are trying to bring you down and convince you why you can't face your fears when they are not facing their fears. Go surround yourself with people that are also facing their fears. Go expand yourself into a new version of who you are, even if somebody has never done it before. Why do you need permission from somebody else that has already done it so you can do it? Why can't you be the first one? Why can't you be the first one? I do encourage you, if somebody, if you want to manifest something, go surround yourself with that person that already has what you want. But also consider this: why can't you be the first person to live into something that has never been created before? Why can't you be the first? Why do you need permission from somebody else? I mean, you can get that permission slip and use that permission slip as a motivation and inspiration to go after what you want if you need that. But I'm here to invite you to an even higher level of consciousness where you can be your own permission slip. Your permission slip is you. And of course, the circumstances, then the people and the books and the resources and the things you need to further enhance that will come to you. And those are also technically permission slips as well. So, it's a paradox. We really can't do anything alone whatsoever, because even if we convince ourselves that, we are doing it alone, once you give yourself permission, that person will come into your life that already has it. It already exists. It already exists. That thing that you want, that thing that you want to manifest, it will come. It will pop into your field like magic, just like absolute magic. It'll just pop into your field and you'll be absolutely shocked how it happened. Yet there it is right in front of you, and you don't know how, yet it's happening, simply because you understand the energy of life. You're learning how to manipulate your energy. You're not manipulating people, you're manipulating your energy. And that actually helps people, because then they learn how to manipulate their energy as well. And then we all live a harmoniously epic, co-creative reality. And with that, I conclude this video. Once again, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free coaching call to see if you're a good fit for my coaching program. There are limited spots available, so if you do want to be part of that, be sure to apply as soon as possible. Also, leave a comment down below if this video was supportive for you in any way. I would love to hear what you have to say, and I read every single comment. Also, please hit that like button for me so that more people can get access to this content, because I do believe that every single person on this planet does deserve to know that they are divine creators of their reality, and that they can manifest their reality and do so in the most effortless and easeful way possible. And hitting that like button does help the YouTube algorithm push the videos out to more people, and that would be greatly appreciated. As always, Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.